Hello, I'm Mike Hamlar, host of the New Virginia Economy, and we welcome our guest, Tracey Wiley, Agency Director of the Department of Small Business and Supplier Diversity. Welcome, Tracey.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, again, thank you so much for making the drive down from Richmond. So tell us about the agency.
So the agency as currently stands, back in January of 2014, the legislators saw fit to put together an agency that would be a one-stop opportunity for small businesses in Virginia. And so as it stands today, based on the former two agencies, it was Department of Business Assistance and the Department of Minority Business Enterprise, we now have combined those two to form the Virginia Department of Small Business. And so any company can come to the agency and find pretty much everything they would need to grow their small business. One of the major areas, or I guess four of the major areas that we focus on is advocacy. We focus on financing. We look at certification opportunities for SWaM and DBE, and business development and outreach.
Right, so the finance piece, I know that's probably what's on most business minded people.
Sure.
What they think about first. So the access to capital and this financial opportunity, could you expand on that just a little bit?
Most people don't know that we've added the Virginia Small Business and Financing Authority under our marquee now. So while it's an authority and operates a little different than the other three pillars, it provides an opportunity for small businesses that are looking to expand or looking to add new equipment to their business. There's several grants that we do have, but there are qualifying criteria for those. But they operate about 13 funds that include state funds and federal funds where companies can come and qualify. They have to meet the criteria that's set forth by the state and the federal government to look at ways of growing and financing their business in Virginia.
Right, that's great. So which one you want to talk about next? I personally, SWaM is probably one of the most important to me. So if you want to save that for last, I understand.
We can,
so if you
we can go where you want to go, Mike. This is your town, and I'm willing to give the audience what they need.
I appreciate that. So we'll go to the next one. We'll save SWaM for last, if we can.
Sure.
All right, so we can just pick another pillar and just explain that.
Well, business development and outreach is a key area for any business. I have been in supplier diversity for over 20 years, and what I've found is that the companies that do the best are those companies that have an opportunity to continue to develop their businesses, what we call working on their business and not in their business. So courses that include workshops, any type of how to do business with state government, any of those agencies, those are the types of services that we're providing. Entrepreneur Express is one of our workshops as well. We partner with the small business development centers around the Commonwealth and some of the colleges and universities. We partner with chambers. We look for ways to have interaction with business that continually keeps them growing. And this year, I'm very excited. Well, actually, last year we launched it. We launched one program called New Virginia's Scaling for Growth. And it's a business opportunity where companies were selected through an application process. There are 16 of them. Okay. They're all from around the state, so we were able to get that type of diversity of businesses and geography and ownership. And they get a chance to go through a 7-month program to help them look inside their business, to look at their HR component, their marketing, their finance, and understand where there's room for improvement and growth. And we feel like by the time they graduate from this program, they will have a greater opportunity for competitiveness in Virginia for contract opportunities. So under business development and outreach, we have a chance to formally be able to engage businesses in finding out where they need some extra support. And we attend one-on-one sessions with them. We go to conferences. We're always partnered up. So that's a great, opportunity for them to engage with the members of our team. Right.
Competitive advantage. You really need that.
Absolutely.
And as a business owner, it's tough because you're in the day-to-day operations. You worry about what's going on. You worry about payroll. You worry about everything else. But you have to have some research and development, some R&D in there, and some investment in moving forward too. So that's great. So
we'll graduate that class in May. So hopefully you'll check on us and see how we've done with the class.
We would definitely have to check on you.
Yeah.
All right. So we got 2 more pillars left, but I want to make sure that we hit SWaM.
Okay.
So tell us about SWaM, because my wife and I have a merger and acquisition firm, and we are SWaM certified through your agency, which is great. But so tell us a little bit more in detail, and then we'll
We'll
get a little bit of information.
Sure, and I think that's an appropriate place to land because we think that business development and outreach is first, so you understand more about your business. And then if you are ready for certification, then there's a good opportunity to participate in that process. So we have SWaM, which is Small Women and Minorities. And there's been a charter based on data that the agency and the government has received as far back as 2004, where there were disparities in discretionary spend for those companies that fell in those categories. About 95% of the companies in Virginia are small, but there's a greater percentage of those that are women and minorities as well that are underneath small categories. So we try to track what we do in terms of expenditures with small women and minorities. How we do that is they have to become certified first so that they will be in our database and that agencies have a chance to source them when they're looking at procurement opportunities. It tends to be a process and people get a little bit upset about how long it takes and how much is required. But the process is done mainly to make sure, or for us to vet, that they are exactly who they say they are, that they are meeting the 250 employees or less, or the 10 million in revenue over a 3-year time frame in order to meet that SWaM or small business definition. For women and minorities, it's a little bit different in terms of they have to have 51% ownership, management, and control, all three. Ownership, management, and control.
You gotta have it all.
And some people come with 1 or 2, but don't realize they have to have all 3 to meet the criteria. Once they are certified in those categories, there are a couple other designations under small where they can apply for micro business designation, which is new that the governor put forth in July of 2014. Really great initiative for micro businesses. And that is for companies that have 25 employees or less, and they're at the $3 million revenue threshold. There are specific set-asides for those companies in increments of 10,000 and 50,000 depending upon the commodity or the product or service that they provide. Virginia doesn't have a lot of set-asides, only for small businesses, micro businesses, and service-disabled veterans. And that's different from most states. We are race and gender neutral state, so legally we're not able to procure contracts based on race and gender, but I think that based on what this administration and others before it have done, but in particular the new things that the McAuliffe administration has done, that we have a tremendous opportunity to grow businesses in all the categories that I mentioned.
Right. I mean, I can just sit here and just listen and listen and listen.
SWaM is really exciting.
It is very exciting. It's a lot of information, and I really want to make sure people are able to contact you. So if you don't mind, tell our viewers and our listeners, you can turn to the camera and just let them know how to get in contact with you and agency's phone number, or whatever you want to give them.
Sure. So for now, we're in the midst of some of our changes with the agency since it is new, but certainly they can go to our new website.
Our new website.
And of course, that is at www.sbsd.virginia.gov, and they can find out all the information that I shared plus some, because we have some new designations, which I'll speak to in the last pillar. Or they can reach out to our managers, Calvin Thweet, who's the manager of SWaM and DBE, which I didn't talk as much about, but that is our federal program that we administer for Virginia Department of Transportation and Federal Highway.
Awesome. Awesome. Tracey, thank you so much for
You're
coming on.
welcome.
I really appreciate you making the drive down. Look forward to the roundtable in a little while.
That's right.
So, as always, we want to thank our sponsors. Again, thank our guest, Tracey Wiley. For more information, go to newvirginiaeconomy.com. Well, that's it for today, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Mike Hamlar. Remember, stay focused, remain engaged, and be encouraged, because together we are building the new Virginia economy.